Hello, my gays, theys, and heterosexual bays. My name's Corrupted Coffee, aka Miko, and today we're me just doing a little, I don't know, just a small topic, simple little think piece, even maybe, I don't know. Today, I want to talk about the things that I have learned in 2024. Holy shit! Oh my god, isn't that crazy? We made it another year. How long could we keep doing this, honestly? But anyways. As I'm recording this, it is the 18th of December 2024, and I've compiled a couple of, things that I've learned this year that I think are pretty interesting, so I should share them. So I'm going to. And you're going to watch, whether you like it or not. So, yeah. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. Anyways, trends and norms are stupid. And I'm not saying that in like the punk, rebellious, I'm better than everybody else. I say it in a way that they are literally only out to get you. The only thing trends, micro trends, norms, the only thing they're there for is for you to feel bad about yourself and to spend money. So there's literally no reason for you to like go along with it. Cause yeah, maybe it'll make you feel good. You get new designer boots, nice jacket, but it doesn't matter in the long run. At the end of the day, you'll just be a husk. You don't know what you are. You don't know who you are. You don't know what you like. And yeah, you know what? Sure. You can shop on Shein for hours and hours and hours. And, do whatever you like. You can change styles every day. But at the end of the day, if you're following a trend, you're nothing yet. You don't know who you are. You won't know who you are until you decide to take the first steps into finding who you are. And that's a long process. Number 2, it's cool to care. This also is norms and stuff, but I think that we have normalized being nonchalant, and that pisses me off. Because why? Why would we need to be nonchalant? Like, talk about what you are passionate about. Draw pictures of it. Write poetry. Scream from the rooftops about your causes. I mean, hell, even if you like something maybe problematic, you're doing everyone a favor by letting them know that you enjoy it so that we can stay away from you. But if you care about the environment, let people know. If cats are your favorite animal, let people know. Be unapologetically yourself so that you never, ever forget who you are. Because that's incredibly easy to do these days. And I've found that personally. You forget who you are when you get wrapped up in capitalism, Something else I've learned this year, and I guess I've just been learning over my entire life, is that change is the only constant in life. And while that is an oxymoron, it's still true. While everything changes, the only thing that stays the same is that everything is always changing, For example, you are always changing, you're always growing, and you're always becoming a new person. But you are always still you, and you're always still living, And I think change is one of the hardest things I've had to come to terms to. Having to learn that nothing will stay the same, even if it's happy. Or even if it's sad, and I need to be sad at that moment. But whatever you need will happen. It's just how it is, Something else important I've learned is that good people will come to you. And while I know this can be applied to other things as well, the people who have been some of the most meaningful to me have come to me, Like one of my best friends online, Aiden, we met and It's 2020. That's like 5 years ago now. That's crazy. I hate that. I hate that a lot, actually. But, you know, even if I originally was the one who reached out to him, he kept it going and stuff. Another one, my friend SJ. I was not originally friends with him. I knew he existed. Oh my god, this is so embarrassing to say. Um, I knew that he was nice, but he was not the center of my attention. The center of my attention was people who didn't care about me. And that was draining. But suddenly, he came into my life and I was not expecting it. It was completely out of left field. And now I don't know what I'd do without him. There's also Sue, who the first thing they said to me was on TikTok. They said, "Hey, I really like your videos and I think you're really cool." And I thought they were really cool, even though they didn't post any videos. But now they're one of my biggest supporters. Chari, I met them at summer camp. One of our first interactions was them calling me weird. And you might think, well, Miko, that's not the type of first time interaction you want to come after. But like, it was in a, you're weird. And me going, well, you're weird. And yeah, kind of way, you know? That was nice. On the note of friends, something else I also had to learn this year was that friends are not everything, and they cannot be your everything. And likewise, that you need to learn to be okay with being alone. I think for all of my life, I've always, well, I wouldn't say depended on my friends. I've never depended on anybody. But I've always needed them to depend on me. Maybe you could say that, I guess. And I had to realize that I need to know who I am without other people. Who am I when I'm alone? You know? I had to learn that last year as well. But new friends came into my life, and I guess they kind of distracted me. And while I love my friends more than anything in the world, I've had to learn that some people don't have the best interest in me. And that's why I need to have the best interest in myself. And I have to learn to prioritize myself over other people because that's what I deserve. And it's not mean. It's kind to myself, and I deserve kindness, you know? Something else a bit heavier I had to learn this year was that there's more to life than self-harm and, quick gratification, things like that. I think that this could go for a lot of people, cigarettes, nicotine, weed. Why am I only thinking about smoking things? Oh. But I had to learn that I need to learn to deal with my emotions without like backdoors and cheats and quick fixes because otherwise, I don't know who I am. I don't know what to do. And that's all I have. That's all I felt like all I had was that. That was not only all that I was, but all that I could do. It gave me control, but it made me powerless at the same time. But you don't realize it when you're in the middle of it because it feels like it's making you better. And while I do think that it was the only thing holding me together some parts of this year and last year and the year before that, I've had to make the choice to step back and be like, it's fine if this is how some people get through their lives. Shit is tough right now. Um, but I want to be able to be okay without it, you know? And I think that that's something a lot of people need to learn if they want to. You know, the absolute first step is not only realizing that there is a problem, but then you have to want it. It doesn't matter if you want it because of somebody else, you need to genuinely want it. Which is actually my next point. To want recovery from something, you need to be the one that wants it. It doesn't matter if you just feel guilty because your mom wants it or if your friends are pressuring you. It will not work. Because if there's someone that can leave and the urges can come back, then there's nothing stopping you then. Maybe guilt, but guilt isn't enough to hold a lot of people back. It didn't hold me back. It had to get to the point where I didn't have many friends and I felt like I wasn't going to go anywhere in life if I didn't stop, because it gave me control, but then it took control from me. And it was scary getting out of that. My next point, also relating to it, kind of, is it's okay to not want recovery. I guess this isn't something I've learned, but it's just like an analogy that I have brought and taken up this year, is that I think recovery from anything, honestly, anything at all, it's like being in a dark room. You're comfortable with the darkness. It doesn't hurt your eyes, and it's warm and it holds you and it's like a hug. And then when you step outside, it's all bright and it hurts your eyes and it sucks and it's horrible. But it gets better because you can't see trees in the dark. You can't see the sun. You can't feel the grass. It's just dark. And it has its perks, but your eyes will adjust to the brightness eventually. And I guess that somewhat connects to my next point. You gotta go with the flow. I think for so long in my life, I've been, uptight about so many things. I think that's been like one of my biggest personality traits that I've got to stick up my but you just gotta go with it, you know? And when I say go with the flow, I don't mean suppress your emotions. I don't mean ignore everything. I mean literally take what life throws at you. And like, oh, 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 can't get me. Like, just roll with it. And I say this as an anxious person. I have crippling anxiety. I can't exist non-anxiously in anything I do. So I'm going to be anxious no matter what. So for me, going with the flow doesn't mean pushing my anxiety down and calling it and invalidating it. It means accepting, hey, I'm anxious right now, and that's okay. I'm going to do what I can to stop it, but if I can't, we're going to live through it, you know? Or if I spill something, which seems inconsequential, backflip, inconsequential, but it's just, if anything goes wrong, you can't flip out about it, you know? I mean, I guess you could, but if you want to go with the flow, you don't flip out about it. I think having a calmer perspective on life not only lets you be more aware of the people you're around, but it also helps you be aware of, how am I processing this moment? How am I processing these emotions, you know? Because when you're freaking out all the time, you don't have the time to step back. Because this world is so busy, busy, busy. It's rush, rush, rush. There's always somewhere to be, something to do. So when you're able to step back in the midst of everybody rushing around like ants, and you can step back and say, It's gonna be okay no matter what happens. If I hurt myself, it's gonna be okay. If I drop a glass, it's gonna be okay. If my friends cancel on me, it's gonna be okay. If my friend passes away, it's gonna be okay. But that doesn't mean you don't have to hurt. That doesn't mean you don't have to be angry. That doesn't mean that you have to be sad. It just means that you should live. You know? Just rolling with the punches. I actually don't know what that means. I think, hold on. Yeah. It just means to adapt and junk. So, make like a tree and adapt. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. What am I doing? What am I doing with my life? But I think, well, that was going to be my last point. But I want to wrap this video up, this show, by saying that the most important thing I've learned and will continue to learn, I am the most important person in my life. And I don't say that in a way that means that I should be unkind. I mean that in a way where I should be kind, Because you can be kind and also prioritize yourself. But to be kind to others, you need to be kind to yourself. Otherwise, you'll break. You'll snap in half, And I have snapped. I've snapped in half. Because it builds up anger and resentment. And it just, you bottle it up. And you think you can handle it, but you can't. Because you're human. And that's beautiful. To be human is to live in harmony with other humans. And that is something uniquely you. How you interact with people. And how you get over things. If you get over things. But you can't get over things if you don't love yourself. Hell, you don't even have to love yourself. Just be neutral. Hating yourself and going against yourself will never, ever do anything for you. Never. It has never helped anyone, ever. I mean, maybe in a tight squeeze, like an exam or something, but other than that, it's not going to help you in the long term. It may help people adapt to you, make them more comfortable around you, making yourself feel small so that you're more consumable for them, like a product, but you're not a product. You're a human. You're flawed. You're maybe even broken, but you're you. And you gotta learn to love you. Otherwise, you can't do anything. Something that I hear a lot and heavily agree with is you cannot love somebody until you love yourself. And I think that's true. You can say that you can love somebody if you hate yourself, but that's not true. Because like I said, it builds up. Like dirt under a nail, It'll build up and you won't expect it and you'll be like, "Fuck, Miko, you were so right, yada yada." So learn to be okay with living by yourself. Not literally. Please don't run away, guys. This is not, I don't endorse that. Stella, I know you're watching this. Maybe you're not. You don't like to watch my videos because you have no attention span. Don't run away, guys. I guess don't run away from your problems. I guess I've learned that, but I've never run away. Well, maybe I have. Self-harm. Anyways, I hope that you guys take something away from this video. And I guess the thesis point? No. The main point I want to make is love yourself. Even if that's difficult, because it literally is impossible. That is a full-time job. But it's possible. It's possible. Bye-bye.